Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about the Punic Wars in Rome. Dun, dun, dun. So, in Rome, they fought a series of wars called the Punic Wars. It stands for their First Punic War, their Second Punic War, and their Third Punic War. They had three wars, they're all called the same. So we're going to be talking about all three of those. And our learning target is that we can describe how Rome expanded its territory to become an empire because it added so much territory during the Punic Wars. So in about 267 BC, Rome controlled this whole boot right here, this whole green part. That was Rome. That's what they owned. All of this orange stuff was Carthage, and Carthage is right here. So as you can see, Carthage pretty much controlled a lot of these, the Mediterranean Sea lands in here, and Rome wanted that. If you had control of the Mediterranean Sea, you had control of trade back then. Carthage was on the coast, right here, like I said, but they wanted to control all of northern Africa. Carthage was founded around 800 BC by the Phoenicians. Remember those people? They're those sea traders that we got our alphabet from. They founded Carthage. And so, as you can see, because they're the sea traders, they founded it for trade. They get the word Punic Wars because Punicus is Latin for Phoenician. So when they say they fought the Punic Wars, they fought the Phoenician Wars. So basically the word Punic just comes from their Latin word. So we're going to start talking about the First Punic War. So Carthage was a large trading empire, and it became the largest and richest city. As you can see, they owned all that territory and Western Mediterranean. In 264 BC, a war called the First Punic War started because Rome and Carthage both wanted the island of Sicily. Let me go back for a second so you can see. Sicily is right here. So most of it was controlled by Carthage. And since it was like pretty much attached to Italy by an isthmus, a little piece of land right here that kind of connects it, Rome thought that they should be able to control that. Let me move on. There we go. Before this, Rome had fought all their wars on land. They'd never had a sea war before. As you can see, Carthage, all these boats here are Carthaginian boats. They were a sea power, so Rome decided to build a navy to fight them so they could take over Sicily. The First Punic Wars lasted more than 20 years. It was pretty long. Finally, in 241 BC, Rome won. Carthage, because they won, Carthage had to agree to certain terms. Carthage had to leave Sicily, and they had to pay a huge fine to the Romans who now ruled Sicily. So at this point, they add Sicily to their banks. On that map we first saw, that would be green now. To get even, Carthage decided to go to Spain. Spain is like right at the end of Europe. And so they decided to conquer that. So the Romans helped the Spanish people there rebel. And in 218 BC, Carthage sent the great general Hannibal to attack Rome. And this began the Second Punic War. So they're fighting again over more territory. It moved on from Sicily to Spain. This is when, to me, it gets pretty good. The Second Punic War is where Hannibal decides to, or they didn't decide. They sent him from Carthage to go to Rome. He goes to Spain first with about 46,000 men, horses, and 37 elephants. Yeah, elephants. He marches them. I mean, you saw those Alps when we looked at them in class, right? So, like, you saw how big those Alps were. They were tall. They are tall. He takes all of these guys, 46,000 guys, horses, and 37 elephants, and he marches them across the Alps. It's like the best chance to surprise them because they're not expecting an army to try to come over the Alps, like natural protection, right? They're pretty tall. Nobody's going to want to take the chance of taking their whole army up into the mountains. So what he does is thinks, well, we have the best chance of surprise attack if we go over these mountains. So he takes them over the Alps. And they aren't lying when they say it's natural protection. It killed half of their men because it was so cold in the mountains. Most of the elephants died. horses, all of them, they die from the cold. It's really cold. It's really tough to cross. Even today, to get into some of these places in the Alps, you have to have some super duper, climbing equipment and things like that. They didn't. But finally, they get to Spain. Or they get to Rome, I'm sorry. And they beat the Romans at the Battle of Cannae, and they began raiding Italy. In 2002, a Roman general, so remember Hannibal was on the Carthaginian side, the Carthage side. Rome sent their own general. His name was Scipio Africanus, like the song Scipio Africanus. And Hannibal had elephants, right? So they sent Scipio to attack Carthage. And when that happened, they're like, well, we need to have a general there to protect Carthage. So they send Hannibal home to protect the people in Carthage. And once he gets there, Scipio, the Roman general, beats Hannibal, and Carthage now has to give Spain to Rome. So they add not only just the island, but now they have Spain. So we're adding more territory here. Carthage also had to give up its navy, and they had to pay a huge fine. So this would have been kind of like the end of what would be Carthage at the time. Rome ruled the Western Mediterranean. All of that Carthage land is now Rome. Carthage was no longer a military power, but they were still a rich trading center. That city on the African coast was still right there in the middle of the city. Romans didn't want Carthage to even have that. So in 146 BC, not only did they beat them, take all their land, but now they go to the actual city of Carthage, and Roman soldiers burns the cities down to the ground. Have you seen that as a common theme, like in these wars, that they just go through and they burn these cities down? I don't know why, but they do. More than 50,000 men, women, and children were also taken in as slaves. Once they burned the city down, anyone they captured were enslaved to go work in Rome. Oops, there we go. Legend says that in addition to burning their cities down and putting their men, women, and children in slavery, they also didn't want them to be able to even rise again. So what they did was they took salt and they poured it all over their ground, all over their farmland, because crops cannot grow in salty earth. So they did that so they don't even have a chance of ever rebuilding there and farming and, becoming another power again. That was the Third Punic War. So the Third Punic War starts when they burn the city down and enslave their children. After this, Carthage was a Roman province. So they weren't even a state of their own. They were a province, a district in Rome. So Rome owns Carthage now. After that, they fight a separate series of wars called the Macedonian Wars. Sounds familiar? Macedonia, Greece, right. So while Hannibal was rampaging through Italy in the Second Punic War, Philip V of Macedonia launched the First Macedonian War against Rome. So now they have to fight two wars, not only the Punic Wars, but these Macedonian Wars. Because Rome's army was focused on Hannibal, Rome could not also fight against Macedonia. As a result, Rome had to make peace with Macedonia. However, after the Punic Wars are over and they can devote their full attention to Macedonia, they leave and they go to Macedonia. This starts the Second Macedonian War. The first one is when they were attacked and made peace, and then they were like, yeah, we can go get you now. So in the Second Macedonian Wars, the legions, remember the troops in Rome are called legions, fought against the Macedonian phalanx, which was a solid body of troops with long spears. So remember they put their shields up real tight together and stick their spears out through it. That was a Greek traditional way of fighting. They put their shields up and their swords would stick out, and that's how they would get them. It was strong, but it did not have the flexibility of the Legion. The Legion was better as far as being able to move with their shields and their shields. They were slow, but it was better than the phalanx, apparently. So it led to defeat. The Macedonians were defeated. Once past the Roman spears, fresh Roman reserves fought hard until they destroyed the enemy to end the war in 197 BC. Rome also destroyed the city of Corinth and conquered Greece, which also became a Roman province. So now they own Carthage, Spain, all the land in the Mediterranean around there that was orange once. Now they also own Greece and Macedonia. And so it's all part of Rome. Roman power stretched from the Iberian Peninsula to the islands of Greece, and Rome was the new superpower of the ancient world. All right. There are 4 videos on the Punic Wars. This gives way more information than I can. I like these videos because they give you so much information, which will be helpful for you because you're going to be making a storyboard over the Punic Wars, one of the Punic Wars. So we'll be watching these in class. They do speak kind of fast. So if you get to a point where it's a little too fast for you, you can slow the speed down. There's like some, I'd have to open it up to show you, I think. So we go here. Say they speak fast. Maybe my face. There is a gear right here. If you click settings and playback speed, you can slow it down. So I would do 0.75. So they actually speak at a normal rate. Just saying. If that's something more your speed, that's what I would do. We're going to be watching this today and tomorrow. Excuse me, today and tomorrow, and we'll be watching it more tomorrow. And then we're going to start our project, which will be a storyboard, and I will go over all of those directions in a later video. So I hope you have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Please let me know if you have any questions. Make good choices, and I will see you soon. Bye.